Hello and welcome to my review of Fast and Furious 5, also commonly known as simply Fast 5. Obviously, if you don't know by the fact that it's called Fast and Furious 5, it is the fifth installment in this franchise. The third of which to star Vin Diesel, and Jordana Brewster. The also third of which to star Paul Walker and a lot of the other guys. But yeah, and it's also the point where the franchise turns from more car racing to heisty action, save the world kind of films where there's always a big bad. Whereas in obviously the first two and even the third one, there wasn't really a villain. It was just about racing and having fun, and that's what I like. And then obviously the fourth one's more of a film. I don't really know how to describe it. Other than just a mixed bag. I mean, it's fun, but here I find myself enjoying this one far more than any of the previous. Well, far more than at least the previous two. And obviously, this one has a higher budget because we have the return of Tej and Roman, who hadn't been seen since Too Fast, Too Furious. Obviously, Han had been in the last one, Giselle had been in the last one. They both came back, and so did Dom Omar and Tiago Maiga. But yeah, Tej and Roman return here since the first time since Too Fast, Too Furious, and then we go on to start every subsequent one except for Hobbs and Shaw. Obviously, again, talking about Hobbs and Shaw, this is the first film to have Dwayne Johnson as Luke Hobbs, and it's also the return of Vince, played by Matt Schultz, who was in the first one and is in any other ones after this because he dies in this one. Fun facts. But yeah, with this one, it's very much an action-centric, heisty flick. It's definitely a heist film, I'd say. And again, I just want to say that final scene, the final action sequence at the end of the film, where they basically use two cars to pull a massive vault and basically destroy half of Rio, is one of the most craziest, most fun and enjoyable action sequences you can watch in a film today. It's sure it defies physics and stuff, but who cares when there's that much action, that much fun, that much destruction you can watch in one film. It's absolutely brilliant, and the rest of the film is well paced as well. From the train robbery at the beginning to scoping out and stealing the first set of money. So it's a very well paced film, and most of it takes place in foreign soil, but in fact none of it takes place in America. Most of it takes place in Brazil. Some of it in fact all of it takes place in Rio de Janeiro, which is fun. But yeah, it's just a great action flick. It's great fun. It's where the franchise turned to what it is now, but it's not quite as good as the subsequent ones, but it's still very enjoyable. And this one I have a tad bit of nostalgia for in certain ways. I just have more of... I do remember watching this one, not when it came out, but I do remember watching this one a lot and just enjoying the fun. This is the one that has also that same feel as the last one does, but it's still good fun. I still enjoy it, and I would recommend it to all because it's a good way to waste 2 hours, I suppose. Again, character-wise, they're all fleshed out a lot more, and it's great to see those relationships build and grow here as well. It's great to see that although in this one, for most of the film, Hobbs is seen as someone who's against the team, by the end of the film, because Dom saves Hobbs, Hobbs helps him steal the monies from the big bad Reyes, which is fun. But yeah, again, Reyes as a villain, he's alright, I suppose, but I think for the time, this one came out with it was a big success, and obviously it was meant the series could flourish in the next couple ones, and it looks more polished than the last one, it really does. But again, as each subsequent one goes on, it gets a bigger budget and they look more and more polished. But here is where we start to, whereas the last one, it looked good, and it looked like it had quite a bit of money behind it. It clearly wasn't as high as budget as this one and the subsequent ones, which is obvious from, obviously the first one is looking like a really low budget film because it was a low budget film, but 4 and 5 are closely obviously put together because the end, much like here as well, basically from 4 onwards the end of of one leads directly into the start of the next one. Because in 4, the end of 4 is when they almost where they it shows them driving up to knock the truck over, knock the bus over that has Dom in it. And at the beginning of 5, you see them actually do it. At the end of 5, you see Dom and Brian about to go and start racing each other. At the beginning of 6 is that way. So I can't remember for 6 and 7. Might be a bit different, but I at least know for 4 through 6, the ending of 4 takes place, also leads directly into the beginning of 5, and the ending of 5 leads directly into the beginning of 6. So that's as much as I can tell you that I know for a fact. Again, yeah, it's obviously the 5th installment, so at this point things were at an interesting point, but it's still loads of fun. The action's brilliant. Dwayne Johnson is fabulous as Hobbs, and it's just, again, it's full of Tej and Roman are so good here. They're so funny. Although one of my favourite parts of Tej and Roman was brilliant in the next film. There's a very fun. I'll talk about it, but there's several funny scenes. In fact, Fast and Furious 6 is one of my favourites, so I'll let you know. But yeah, this is obviously the beginning of the franchise's turn into more heisty, more action flicks, and it's fabulous to watch. And I've been enjoying watching this series back. And 5 is an adrenaline rush that's great fun. It's an action-packed, fun-filled ride for anyone who loves cars. There's cars in it. There's a lot of nice cars in it, but it's more a heisty and action-based, opposed to what this franchise started off as, being primarily about car races and illegal car races and all that fun. But yeah, it's come a long way since the first one, but it's still a hugely enjoyable action film that you can get. Action car-based film that still has all your favourite characters in it. All the characters are so brilliantly done here. It's just a brilliant film to watch. Trust me. It's just fun. Is it the greatest film ever made? No. Is it the greatest film in this franchise? It's far from it. But is it better than the last one? Yes. Is it better than Tokyo Drift? I don't know. I actually did enjoy Tokyo Drift when I watched it for the channel. I can't really tell you if I preferred it to Tokyo Drift or not. I mean, the only thing that's keeping me liking Tokyo Drift a lot is because it's more of it's more street racing, which is the ones I like, whereas this is action filled. And while I've always preferred the characters in here, I'll always prefer the street racing ones to the action ones. But I think I am happy to say that no, I think Tokyo Drift is better than this one, in my opinion. I know that's probably quite controversial considering the placement and what people think of Tokyo Drift, but I think Tokyo Drift is better than Fast and Furious 5. Don't hurt me. I don't give a shit what you fucking say, fam. But yeah, I just Fast 5 is fun. Brian Tyler's score is brilliant again. You'll be hearing a piece called Fast 5 over this review now. The soundtrack, music-wise, some good songs. Another great song from Don Omar called Danza Kurudo at the very end, which is brilliant. Some nice songs here and there, but it's again weaker side of the franchise. I think the franchise's soundtrack picks up again at 7, which has, in my opinion, the second best soundtrack in the whole series. But we'll get to 7 when we get to it. It's great to see all the characters in the scenes where they're all together in doing stuff together. It's great to see all these characters that we've seen built up over the last few films. Han and Roman and Tej and all these characters. For this film, this is the first time they all come together. Although Han is obviously seen in the last one, this is. And so is the other two. This is where everyone is all brought together. This is where Han meets Giselle. Giselle, Han, Roman, Tej. All those guys brought together. Brian's here, Dom's here, Mia's here. And there's a lovely post-credit scene. Spoilers, by the way, so turn off now if you don't want to be spoiled for this movie. But there's a lovely post-credit scene where we have another character who returns from the second film. Eva Mendes' character, whose name Monica Fuentes. That's it. If Monica Fuentes returns at the end of the post-credit scene here with The Rock and gives him a document file about a group stealing something, and then Hobbs immediately says, "Is it Toretto?" And it's like, no. And then it obviously shows a picture of Letty being still alive, which is what the whole next one goes into deep about being. So yeah, but overall, 5 is one of those films where if you've loved the early films of the franchise, you're obviously not going to love it as much as the other ones, but it still has wonderful cars. It has brilliant action, beautiful cars, and a fun set of characters that always put a smile on your face. I don't mean to say some more than others, but whenever Tej and Roman just have a conversation or do anything, biggest fucking smile on my face. Those two are brilliant, and I think they're some of the best characters here. But yeah, overall, Fast 5 is an experience that everyone can enjoy, but also everyone can hate at the same time, depending on what part of the franchise you enjoy the most. If you like the more modern action blockbusters that make billion-dollar blockbuster movies, then 5 onwards is for you. But if you like street racing and deep dives into characters, you want 1 through 3, boys. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review of Fast and Furious 5. Tomorrow we'll have Fast and Furious 6. Sorry, this is a bit later than usual. I was building a chair today, my lovely gaming chair. I was building a chair and it almost killed me. No, I'm joking, it didn't. But yeah, have a wonderful day, guys, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Bye bye.